You're either a purist and you make games solely to tell a story and to change the world, or you're a jackass capitalist just trying to make money.
What's going on? It's your neighborhood jackass capitalist here to respond to Thomas Brush's video interview with Noah. If you don't have enough confidence to give away the first 10 or 15 minutes of your game, it probably might not be commercially viable to begin with.
The question is, should you focus on being an artist, a purist? Should you help change the world with your indie game? Or should you focus on money and just make a commercially viable game?
Should game devs focus on making money? Really? That's the question? What? I mean, if games are a hobby, then, that's one thing. But if games are supposed to be your career and are supposed to be what you're making your living off of, this isn't really a question at all to me. This is kind of a no-brainer thing. My question is your game actually making money? And if it's not, have you considered just giving it away for free? If you don't know me, my name is Mitch Zamara. I'm a professional free-to-play game designer, and I've been working professionally in the video game industry for over 10 years. The games that I've worked on have been played by over 150 million people and have grossed tens of millions of dollars. I love making free-to-play games, and I feel so passionate about free-to-play games, and that I feel that every game should be free. I also care a shit ton about making a compelling experience that is meaningful to players. Otherwise, they wouldn't give me a fucking dime to begin with. What I would love to see is for everyone who's making a game now or has a game live in the market to try this test. Take your 10 closest friends or family members. Explain to them exactly what your game is about. Show them the trailer, whatever you need to do to sell them on what it is. And if your game isn't out yet and it's just still in development, ask them to give you money right now as a pre-order for your game. And if your game is out, ask them to go onto Steam, buy your game, play it, and if they don't enjoy it within the first 4 hours, to refund the game. Seriously, like I'm dead serious. Have your closest friends, sell your closest friends and family on what you are making, and make sure and prove to yourself that what you're making is worthwhile enough for them to invest in you because they believe in what you are creating. I don't really want to be a jackass about this, because the reality is that if you can't convince all 10 of those people that love you and support you to give you the money for what you're building, how are you going to convince a total stranger to give you money up front for your game, even though they can also have the same choice to refund the game after a few hours of play if they're not happy with it? If you think I'm talking out of my ass about what I'm saying here, please respond in the comments. Tell me why you think differently. Tell me about your game, link it in the Steam store or in the App Store, and I will tell you my honest feedback as someone who's been doing these kind of things for 10 years. I will happily do that. All of the people that are on your wish list don't actually represent how confident people are in purchasing your game or how much they believe in it. And I feel that this notion of converting wish lists into sales it gives you false hopes and pretenses over the reality of what people think about what you're making. If you give your game away for free, if you create an incredibly compelling experience for 10 to 20 or even 30 minutes, and you present your player with an opportunity to give you their money, I am convinced you will make far more money than you will with your game sitting on wish lists of people who are never willing to pull the trigger and try your game out, even with the flexibility and freedom to refund it. This same approach should be used for how you validate whether you should be developing your game all the way anyway. It's validating the actual product market fit for your game. So if you're in development, create the tutorial, create the opening experience, create the playable slice in that first 15 minutes so that you feel confident that you have an amazing experience that people will really, really love. Put it out on Steam. Put it out in early access for free. Put it out as a separate game if you have to. And when you reach the end of it, even if you're not ready to release the full game, put a survey and get people's feedback and make the most important question. Would you pay for this? How much would you pay for this? So you know exactly not just how likely people would be to spend money on your game, but how much they'd be willing to spend on it, so you have an idea of what you should be pricing your game at. And when it comes time to actually release your game, release it for free and do the same damn thing. And instead of putting the survey, put your fucking conversion point of saying, hey, I'm so glad you're enjoying this game. I would love for you to play it more. I would love for you to find the full experience. There's over 10, 20, whatever amount of hours of fun there is to be had waiting here. And if you don't like it, you still got time to refund, but there's a point in which you have to sort of cut off the fun and say, hey, it's time to make a choice. What I'm saying is that experience is something that you could optimize far fucking greater than you can looking at a magical wish list that you have no idea what represents their actual likelihood to buy. Your game on a wish list represents one against a whole slew of other games that someone will choose from purchasing on their next experience. If you don't have enough confidence to give away the first 10 or 15 minutes of your game, it probably might not be commercially viable to begin with. This video is brought to you in part by What the Fatui? That's right, it's just this fucking channel. I don't have a sponsor, I have a full-time job. I don't need your money, I don't want your money. All I want you to do is maybe hit that subscribe button so that when I put out more videos, you can like tell me I'm an idiot, or you can tell me I'm a capitalist jackass that is ruining your art form. Whatever you feel, I'm willing to respond to it. You can leave those comments, I'm ready for it, I can take the heat. No, let's just get back to the video, I'm just fucking around, I have no sponsor. If your measurement for success is based on the conversion rate between wish lists and sales, how do you have any chance to optimize that, whether it's before or after your game has launched? How do you know what the real rate of interest is for people that have wishlisted your game, other than listening to what has been told to you by another YouTuber or another game developer? The truth is, you don't know. You have no idea how many people that have wishlisted your game are actually going to spend the money when it comes time to your game's launch. And if I was a developer who was making games on Steam, I would be terrified of this. I would be terrified of the idea that I don't get the price right, or that I overvalue or undervalue my game, or that I don't create enough content, or create a game that's too easy or too hard, or anything that can go wrong. And there's almost no way to validate these things when your entire process is built on setting it up to a point in which you have to require money from somebody. It is a huge amount of effort to convince somebody to open their wallet and give you money. And when the only thing that you have to give to convince somebody is your app store presence, your marketing materials, your videos, your screenshots, and of course the price of your game, you're putting so much pressure on yourself in terms of what needs to go right in order for your game to succeed. And I'm not talking about indie darlings. I'm not talking about these breakout hits that get massive, massive successes on Steam. I'm not talking about Among Us. I'm not talking about Fall Guys. I'm talking about everyone else who makes games that are priced anywhere from $1 to $20. It's made by teams that are like less than 10, the real indie developers. To me, the best chance you stand at getting someone to actually buy your game is by giving it to them to play and then asking for their money. Don't make a demo that lasts 5 minutes. Give them a meaningful experience that would last a full session as if they were a real player. Give them their first fucking 30 minutes of game for free. And then prompt them with an opportunity to either tell you whether they would give you money if it's your pre-launch, if it's your playable slice, if it's your early access, whatever you're making. But survey those people, get some qualitative feedback on whether they think what you're making is great or not, how much they would pay for it. And if your game is live, do the same thing and replace that with an actual purchase prompt, and measure your conversion rate for people that actually download your game. If you're not using any kind of analytics package to be tracking the performance of your players, how do you know what's going right or wrong in your game? Are you just reading reviews and waiting for someone to tell you that the game is broken, or for people to watch your refund rate? Like, what are you doing? I'm truly, I would love to know, like, what are you using to track data inside of your game? Leave a comment, tell me, shoot me an email, tweet at me, tell me how much I don't know what I'm talking about. I would love to know. You're gonna get way more insights from the people that download your game for free and install it off of Steam and try it out, that make it to that point and choose whether to buy it or not, than you will when your game sits on the shelf of the wish list of every other player on Steam, making a decision about which game they're going to buy next, when they're distracted by the newest fucking season pass that's in Apex, or the newest game that's being played by their favorite Twitch streamer. I'm going to make another video at some point in which I talk about a ton of other ways in which you can actually monetize your games beyond just selling a flat purchase for it. I just wanted to make a video first that covers the kind of developers that are making games and that are watching Thomas's content, because I think you guys are missing out on a really obvious opportunity, and I just want you to consider this.